The Japanese airbag maker Takata refused to comply with an order from American regulators to recall its airbags nationwide. That triggered sharp criticism from lawmakers at a U.S. House of Representatives hearing today. The House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee demanded an explanation for Takata's decision not to expand its recall. The airbags can potentially rupture upon deployment and shoot metal fragments. Recalls of the defective airbags have so far been limited to states with high humidity, such as Florida and Hawaii. Arise News automotive expert Lauren Fix, who is also known as the car coach, has been closely following the Takata airbag recall story, and she joins us from Buffalo. Hey, Lauren, it's good to see you. First of all, I just want to know, are you astounded that Takata resisted NHTSA's call to widen the recall? And surely that's why they got called back in front of the subcommittee, right?
Oh, yes, exactly. I mean, they said they had up till Tuesday. So NHTSA had told them, you have till Tuesday to do a nationwide recall. We, as auto journalists, were well aware of that. And then we found out yesterday that they said they weren't going to. They pulled back on the recall because NHTSA was told by Takata that, you know what, we're not going to do that because we can't make these airbags quick enough. That's not a reason to not do a nationwide recall. And I am surprised that when they got in front of that panel, that they didn't demand it, because the fact is there is data to support that it's not just high humidity and high temperature areas. It can be anywhere in the country.
And so talk to us, sort of parse this out, unpack it, if you will, because these recalls are more complicated, I think, than others, and there are different types of recalls, right?
Right. We've got 10 brands, over 10 million vehicles here in the U.S. Now, originally it was back to 2008, so vehicles from current production back to 2008. But now we're showing research and data from NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, going back to 2003. So that's quite a few vehicles, and over 10 different brands. So it's all the Japanese manufacturers, which includes, of course, the ones we know about, the Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Subaru, and Mazda, as well as the 3 American manufacturers, Ford, GM, Chrysler, and on top of that, BMW. They all use Takata airbags. Initially, the first recall was on driver's side airbags. There were 4 deaths where the airbag had deployed because of an accident, and the shards had actually either killed someone or severely injured them. Then they found data on the second recall that it was the passenger side airbag. And now the third portion of this recall is driver's side impact airbags. And that is when David Friedman, who's the deputy in charge, until there is a new leader at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, said, you know what, there is a lot of data that has nothing to do with high humidity and high temperatures. That is a factor, but this is across all the airbags. And they don't know if it's Takata's fault or a sub-supplier of theirs. But the fact is, he demanded a nationwide recall, and Takata said no. And I can't believe that NHTSA backed down.
You know, let me ask you, what recourse then does NHTSA have if Takata continues to refuse to expand this recall?
Well, they said today, when David Friedman was on the second part of the panel, when he spoke, he had told them that, number one, if they don't do it, there could be fines, and they could be millions and millions of dollars, which could be enough to put that company, you know, in a very negative position financially. Secondly, he said there can actually be legal action against the executives in the corporation. Now, this is something that I don't know if they're going to move, because the fact is that there's such a tight relationship between the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and a lot of these suppliers, as well as the manufacturers, that sometimes it's just a matter of bantering back and forth. But we as drivers are the ones that are putting ourselves at risk.
Lauren, before I let you go in our last few seconds, let's talk about Honda, and they've expanded their recall on their driver's side bags. Tell us why that is.
Well, Honda doesn't want to take any risks. They were, actually, they're going to be fined, we just don't know how much, up to $35 million for 1,700 plus incidences that were either injuries or deaths that could or could not be related to airbags that were not reported to NHTSA. So because of that, they're saying anyone that has a vehicle that fits into to the recall list, we are going to offer you a rental vehicle. We will take your vehicle off the street. We'll even come and get your vehicle. So I have to say that Honda is being very proactive in trying to make good on this, because they are going to be penalized, and this is something they want to show that they have good faith with their customers. And obviously, it's not their fault; it's the fault of the supplier of the airbags, which is Takata.
Yeah, to their credit, they're trying to get ahead of this. Lauren Fix, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.